I didn't really want to start the first stream of 2021 on a somber note. The entirety of 2020 undoubtedly has been jack shit. A lot of people throughout the course of the year, experienced some type of hardship. But I feel as though what transpired a week ago, it was just the icing on top of the cake for what was a horrendous fucking year. I myself have had my hardships in 2020. As I have been struggling with my intestinal condition. I'm not feeling my best right now. But the wrestling industry was not only cursed with so many losses this year. One particular loss just capped off the year, specifically because you can't really look at it as just, oh, a wrestler just passed away. No. A wife just lost her husband. Child is fatherless. 8 years old, the child is fatherless. I can't imagine going through that. I would not want to go through that. A week ago, we lost Jonathan Huber, aka Brody Lee. And me specifically, I did not know Brody. I never got a chance to meet him. But I saw all of these individuals, all of these wrestlers sharing these stories about how Brody, Jonathan Huber, how he united everyone, how he brought everyone together, how he was able to bring joy to everyone that he came in contact with, no matter where he worked, no matter who he was with. There was not one negative thing said about Jonathan Huber when the news of his passing broke. And I myself would like to believe that this is just some cruel, sick joke, and the reality still hasn't even set in. I remember putting my phone down. I went into the shower. I got out of the shower 15 minutes later. I looked at my phone like almost a half hour had passed, and then I get notifications in my group chats that I'm in, and I see the tweet from AEW, and I'm like, this can't be legitimate. I'm like, this can't be legitimate. This can't be real. But sure enough, it was. And I'm still struggling myself to get the words out. I apologize. I can't seem to formulate the proper words to say in this type of scenario. It's very hard for me to discuss material like this, and I'm sorry if I'm not looking directly into the camera. This wasn't how I planned on starting the year 2021. I got a new setup, as you could see. I got a new mic and everything, but none of that matters at this rate. If there's one thing that I noticed about Jonathan Huber whenever he wrestled, I noticed that every single match that he wrestled in, whether it be a big time pay-per-view main event, or whether it be just a standard main event match on Dynamite against Christopher Daniels that ultimately ultimately meant nothing in the long run. And I'm watching him wrestle, and every single match that he wrestled in, no matter who he was facing, no matter what character he was playing, he always brought his A game. He always gave you 138%. He made sure that that match that you were watching of his was memorable in some way, shape, or form. He did everything in his power to make sure that the people got their money's worth. And he made sure that he wrestled each match like it was his last. And it's that passion, that dedication that you don't find in a lot of people nowadays when it comes to work. A lot of people go to work, and a lot of people go to their jobs specifically to make money, provide for themselves, put a roof over their heads, food on the table, clothes on their back. They do it because it's a necessity, not because they love to do it. But Jonathan Huber loved his work. Jonathan Huber loved what he was doing, and Jonathan Huber is someone that I don't think we will ever see in our lifetimes again. Someone like that is a rarity. Someone who is just so passionate, so dedicated to being a pro wrestler, but even more so dedicated to being a husband, more so dedicated to being a father. Especially that 25 second speech from Bryce Remsburg on Dynamite that should tell you all you need to know about Brodie Lee as an individual, Jonathan Huber as an individual. If there's one thing that we have learned, it's that life is way too short. Life is cruel. You never really know when it can be taken away from you. And after that happened, I did my best to tell the people that I love them. Some of you are actually watching right now. Danielle's one of them. Matt Moody's one of them. If there's one takeaway, look at each day as if it's your last, and make sure that you tell the people that you see every day that you are thankful for them and that you're appreciative for them. Make sure that everyone that you love knows that you love them, because you never really know when all of this could just be ripped away from you in an instant. I'm not even exaggerating. I did want to meet Jonathan Huber one day. I don't know why I became so fascinated with this, but the phrases that he would tweet out, it's Saturday, it's Monday, it's Tuesday, it's Friday, you know what that means. I wanted him to say that for an intro. For the Lightning Flash update or rundown. I don't know why. I never really understood what it meant, but it's just something that I looked forward to. It's just a little thing that I liked seeing on Twitter. And I truthfully hate Twitter, but it's one thing that I absolutely loved seeing on Twitter. My thoughts and prayers, my condolences go out to the family members and the friends affected by the death of Jonathan Huber. My thoughts and my prayers go out to everyone affected by the death of Jonathan Huber. And before we get into detail about what we're going to talk about today, I do want to say that Tony Khan and AEW did an excellent job at honoring the man that was Jonathan Huber. I'm really not too good with these types of words, so I apologize if I'm coming off in a I don't even know what the word is, because I can't I can't even form the correct words when it comes to situations like this. So I apologize if I can't articulate the words correctly. But I'm going to try and give you guys the best possible stream that I could possibly give you. As I said before, tell the people that you love them. I'm going to do the same when I get off the stream every day going forward. I appreciate all of you. I appreciate all of you for joining me here on the Lightning Flash update. No charismatic over the top intro. Trust me, we'll get into the usual antics here. We'll get into the usual antics here in just a minute. But again, my thoughts and prayers, my condolences go out to the family members and the friends, everyone affected by the death of Jonathan Huber. May he rest in peace. Heaven gained a hardworking, passionate angel before the year 2020 ended. And I hope that we can look towards the new year, 2021, with a better mindset, a better mentality, a more loving mentality. And I hope that we are united now more than ever as we head into the new year. I'm going to try my best to honor him. I'm going to try my best to honor him. Well, it's Saturday, and you know what that means. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm the one and only DJ Storms. Thank you very much for tuning back into the channel here on YouTube.com. It is, of course, Saturday, like I said, January 2nd, 2021. This is the very first Lightning Flash update of the new year. I would like to thank each and every single one of you who are just joining in. We got 10 people watching so far. We only got 7 likes. See, that's a little bit of a problem. So, here's what we got. We got Danielle in here. We got Adam in here. We got Peanuts. We got Joe Foe in the ring. We got a lot of great people here. So, here's what I need you to do. If you haven't already done so, I need you guys to like. Because if you aren't liking, I don't know what you're doing. We are here and we are going to have a great stream. I am telling you, we are going to go over a lot of interesting material. Again, I appreciate you guys being patient with me. Thank you all. And I'm thinking about making it Saturday. You know what that means. I'm thinking about making that my new thing here on the Lightning Flash update as a tribute to Brody for as long as I do this. So let me know what you guys think. As you guys know, I do have a new setup. As you can see, I got a new mic. Let me know if I'm coming in good. Am I coming in good with the mic? How clear am I coming in? Give me a thumbs up if I'm coming in extra clear. Happy New Year to everyone. Happy New Year, Jofo. Happy New Year, Cool King. We got 9 likes so far. We got 11 people watching. I appreciate everyone who's just coming in and joining me here on the second day of 2021. Am I coming in good? I'm coming in clear. Good. So we are going to get started here. We got a lot of material to dissect. We got a lot of material to talk about. I got the Royal Rumble playing in the background. I'm looking at the quality. I'm looking at the quality, and it looks like the quality is coming in very, very well. Perfect. So we are going to get started here. First things first. If you guys haven't already done so, follow me on Twitter at HistoryMakerDJS. Follow me on Instagram at TheDJStorms. Add me on Facebook as well. For collaborations and business inquiries, please send me an email. My email is StormsTakeOver@gmail.com. Like the official DJ Storms business page, and I may just send you an invite to join the official DJ Storms Posse group on Facebook. All the links are in the description. Yes, all the links are in the description. The description now has everything. I'm no longer streaming on my phone. I got this new mic, new setup, and now I can stream from my laptop. We got a much wider picture, and things are looking up for the DJ Storms brand. We are going to make this an excellent year. Excellent year for me as well, since I just applied to my first 2 accounting jobs. So if I am a little bit more busy on the side away from the DJ Storms brand, I do apologize, but we are still going to put forth the best possible wrestling analytical show, because DJ Storms is above all. Storms is God. Remember that. Storms is God. Now it's time to get into the festivities that you all know and love. Of course, please like, comment, and subscribe. Keep the chat alive. If you guys haven't already done so, I need you guys to share out the stream. Please share out the stream. I'm doing good, Peanuts. Thank you very much. I need you guys to share out the stream if you haven't already done so. We got a lot of notifications, actually. Let me see if Danielle shared out the stream. I'm going to go to Danielle's Twitter, and she did indeed share out the stream. Thank you very much for sharing it out. I greatly appreciate it. We need some more people in here. So if you can, please share it out as much as possible. It is vital that you share out the stream as much as possible. Like, comment, subscribe. Keep the chat rolling. Share it out on all platforms of social media. Echoing how? Oh, no. The reason why it echoes... Let me see. Is that okay? Is that a little bit better? The reason why it's echoing is because it's a rather big room. That's why. Thank you very much for sharing on Instagram. I'm sorry about the echo. I can't really do too much about that, considering that it's a mic that picks up a lot. The echo bounces off the room. It's a widespread room. There's not too much in here. So I apologize if the echo bounces off the room. Let me try see if I can raise the volume. All right. Now it's good. Is it good now, or is the echo still there? I'm trying to make sure the echo's not entirely there. Okay. Trying to make sure the echo is not entirely there. We'll work on it. We're gonna do a lot more tests later on. We could do some test streams, but we'll focus on that when the time's right. Talk about that last night, and of course, there's a troll in the chat already, which I already put to rest. You absolute piece of garbage. Earl Cole, thank you very much. The echo's still there. I don't know why the echo is still there. Like, is it that bad of an echo? Can't really worry too much about it. Is the echo really that bad? I don't know why the echo is that bad, but, weird. I don't know why the echo is that bad, but we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out as time goes on, but we got a stream to do. And we are going to get into the news, rumors, and reports here. Happy New Year, Earl. Happy New Year, Earl. I'm going to check the chat later on. But first things first, we are going to get into the news, rumors, and reports here. And I got an interesting report to start off the show. So, I'm scrolling through Twitter, and I come across this report. Fightful actually stated reports explaining how WWE is looking at Impact Wrestling for potential new signings. Now, according to a report from Dave Meltzer that followed up on this, in the latest Wrestling Observer newsletter, WWE has been making overtures now towards some of the top-level Impact talent in an effort to find out when contracts expire. I will give you all one guess as to why this is. I'll give you one guess as to why this is. Does anyone have any clue as to why WWE is now targeting Impact wrestlers? You got 3, 2, 1. Time's up! The reason why Impact Wrestling is now being targeted by WWE and they are scouting Impact for talent is because of All Elite Wrestling. What's been happening in the last month? The last month of 2020, what happened? What happened in the wrestling realm in the last month of 2020? AEW and Impact, they have been in an unofficial partnership. Kenny Omega has been appearing on Impact television for the last few weeks. He just entered into a storyline with the Good Brothers to face off against Impact World Champion Rich Swann and the Motor City Machine Guns at Hard to Kill on January 16th. Sooner rather than later, we are this close. We are this close to seeing the stars of Impact make their way over to AEW Dynamite. It's only a matter of time. Tony Khan and Tony Schiavone, they've been appearing on Impact Wrestling with Kenny Omega. When has WWE ever, when have they ever given a shit about Impact Wrestling? When have they ever cared about Impact Wrestling? You take a look at Impact stars that have come over from Impact to WWE, and WWE has mistreated them and make them feel as irrelevant as everyone else. EC3, Drake Maverick, Bobby Roode, Austin Aries. You know that Cameron Grimes is next. Cameron Grimes was in Impact as Trevor Lee. You know that Cameron Grimes is next for sure. Cameron Grimes is next for sure, and Cameron Grimes, as soon as he gets back in action in NXT, and as soon as he gets called up, he's done. He's going to suffer the same fate as all those other men before him. If WWE actually gave a shit about Impact and the talent that Impact has to offer, then they wouldn't have done what they did in the past with various amounts of Impact wrestling stars. WWE could not give a shit about Impact. WWE doesn't give a shit about making their product better. They don't want to enhance the product. They don't want to bring in new talent. They can't even book 97, 98% of the talent that they have now correctly. What makes you think that they're going to book the people that they're going to sign correctly? On top of that, half of the fucking roster in Impact is merely former WWE stars that were mistreated, and now they're in Impact doing bigger and better things. Rich Swann, TJP, Deonna Purrazzo, various other amounts of people, Eric Young, the Good Brothers. Half of the fucking roster are mistreated WWE talent that got fired on Black Wednesday, or they left earlier, and now they're back in Impact for the sake of rejuvenating their careers. What makes you think that any of them would go and sign with WWE? It is unfucking believable. Every other fucking move that WWE has made has been specifically to counter-program AEW. Because if they know that if this partnership continues uninterrupted, we're going to have Impact stars appearing on Dynamite and or possibly signing contracts with AEW once their Impact contracts are up. And WWE can't have that, because if AEW grows and AEW expands, then they're going to reach 1 million, 1.2 million, 1.3 million, and they're going to reach into Raw and SmackDown territories of ratings. It's nothing more than a counter-programming device. It is fucking unbelievable. Do not let anyone fool you. WWE doesn't give a shit about Impact. WWE doesn't give a shit about their own product. WWE doesn't give a shit about signing talent or enhancing their shows. All they care about is signing talent to these big money contracts to hoard them away from All Elite Wrestling, so that way they don't go to All Elite Wrestling, sign contracts with them, and become assets that give All Elite Wrestling better ratings. Simple as that. Simple as that. Moving on. There will be a lot of ranting in this episode. There will be a lot of ranting in this stream. Moving on. Ringside News recently asked around about Aleister Black's status. Kevin Owens actually mentioned Black in a recent interview and wondered what happened to him as well. We are told that Black's name isn't even brought up in creative. He's quote-unquote never mentioned in creative planning. He is also not injured. They just aren't using him. They just aren't using him. They aren't using him. Yeah. I don't want to say the stereotypical thing. I really don't. I don't want to say the stereotypical thing and say, oh my God, he's being punished because of his wife, and what happened with his wife, blah, 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 blah. I don't want to say the stereotypical thing. I know for a fact that has something to do with it. I know for a fact that plays a part in it. But Aleister Black wasn't being used for a solid month after he got drafted. The last time he was seen was on Monday Night Raw before he got drafted to SmackDown. He has not been used since on television. Aleister Black has not been used on television specifically because of the fact that Bruce Pritchard and Vince McMahon don't see anything in Aleister Black. Because they are so fucking out of touch and they're still stuck in the fucking 90s. Whatever it may be. However many reports came out that Vince McMahon looks at Aleister Black and thinks that he's missing something. What the fuck is Aleister Black even missing? He's got everything that you want. He was the second coming of The Undertaker. And what did you do with him? You did nothing with him. Matter of fact, you had him go week after week after week, beating individual after individual. He literally beat everyone on the fucking roster, and you don't even give him a single championship opportunity. I don't fucking understand. I honest to God, don't fucking understand. So, I'm looking at this as a scenario of WWE just does not know how to fucking use talent. And then obviously when Zelina Vega, she spoke up, she stood up for herself with this bullshit Twitch ban and she got released. Now, that added yet another layer on top of why Aleister Black's not being used on television. Either way, the fact that Aleister Black is not being used on television is just absolutely fucking sinful. It is absolutely fucking sinful. Aleister Black, this man for 2 years on NXT, put on classic after classic. Hideo Itami, Cassius Ohno, Velveteen Dream, Adam Cole, Andrade, Lars Sullivan. He even brought to a decent match Johnny Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa, everyone. Everyone. How this man went however many months undefeated, and you did not even think to give him a championship opportunity. You didn't even think about capitalizing on him after all the momentum that he gained. It's absolutely fucking beyond me. It's beyond me. How you don't see anything in Aleister Black? If you don't see anything in Aleister Black, of all people, then you should not be running a fucking wrestling company. And the sad part about it is there'll be fucking idiots out there that will actually agree with Vince McMahon. If you agree with Vince McMahon, you're not for the fucking betterment of the company. End of story. I don't really want to spend too much time on that. We're going to move on to yet another report, which I'm still not happy about. I'm still not happy to talk about this fucking report. Fightful, again. Fightful Select, they noted that Charlotte Flair, now the Charlotte Flair that returned, and upon her return, she was given a championship. Charlotte Flair wasn't originally planned to be involved in the Lana, Asuka, Shayna Baszler, Nia Jax storyline. Matter of fact, they're reporting that the decision to change the creative plans was made just after the Survivor Series. So let me get this straight. Let me get this straight. The WWE, they had plans in place to fucking push Lana. And they were pushing Lana to the championship with Asuka until Charlotte Flair said that she wanted solid plans. And of course, WWE, they must cater to the Queen. So, the only thing that was able to put WWE's fucking pettiness aside towards Miro was Charlotte Flair. Like, do you see how big of an influence Charlotte Flair really has backstage? Do you understand the blatant favoritism? Do you understand the blatant favoritism that is taking place right before your very eyes? And what's even more disgusting is that you have people that actually support this shit. You have people that have no problem whatsoever with Charlotte Flair going out there and getting opportunity after opportunity, getting accolade after accolade added onto her resume when she's already a made fucking woman. It is absolutely beyond me. It is beyond me that every week by week, you see Charlotte going out there. You see Charlotte going out there, and she is constantly in the spotlight. And WWE has no other desire. WWE has no other desire to build up any other woman. And more likely than not, we're going to see fucking Charlotte 2 belts at the Royal Rumble. God fucking help us all. God fucking help us all. The blatant favoritism with Charlotte Flair is absolutely fucking ridiculous. I don't give a shit who you are. I don't give a shit what position you are in the wrestling community. I am telling you right now, if you are in support of Charlotte Flair, still, after it has been blatantly proven time and time again that she is an absolute fucking detriment to the women's division, and she merely cares about herself, and you are in support of Charlotte Flair, going forth, and just constantly taking up the spotlight. Whether it be with Asuka, whether it be in the women's tag team title picture, regardless, if you're okay with that, and you're okay with Charlotte Flair in the position that she's in right now, you are an absolute detriment to the community and society. You are a detriment to the community and society, and you don't deserve to utter one fucking word about professional wrestling. I have no respect for you. I probably need to get another water with all the fucking ranting that I'm doing. So, here's what Now, I need you all to strap in, because I got a lot of shit to say about this. Listen to this. New Royal Rumble 2021 favorites recently came out just before 2020 ended. Listen to this. First report. According to Betway, Alexa Bliss, yes, Alexa Bliss is the favorite to win the 2021 Women's Royal Rumble match. Alexa Bliss currently sits atop at the favorite with a 7-1 betting odd, followed by Bianca Belair as an 8-1 betting odd, followed by Rhea Ripley as an 8-1 betting odd, followed by Ronda Rousey as a 10-1 betting odds. So those are your top 4 individuals rumored to win the Women's Royal Rumble. I want you all to think. Does anybody know why Alexa Bliss is receiving so much praise right now with the current work that she's doing? And I know that someone from WWE is watching me. I know. They've taken my ideas time and time again. I'm pretty much fucking working for the company for fucking free. But why is Alexa Bliss, why is she receiving so much praise in the current position that she is in? Why? Does anybody know? I'll give you 3. I'll give you 2. I'll give you 1. Time's up! Reason why Alexa Bliss is getting so much praise in the current position that she is in is because of the simple fact that she is working solely based off of her character. She's not wrestling. Why was Alexa Bliss so wildly hated by the majority of the wrestling community for 2-3 years? Why? It's because the woman is a shit professional wrestler. The woman has not had a decent match since 2017 and her matches with Sasha and Bayley. The woman has not had a decent match in 3 fucking years. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. I don't even need to go in depth about that. But I'm going to go in depth about it anyway because I love making everyone look stupid. I don't give a shit if you're a fan of her. I don't give a shit if you're a family member of her, a friend of her, an advocate for her. The woman sucks as a pro wrestler. The woman is a piss-poor excuse for a professional wrestler. That's why she's so wildly hated, and that's why she's so wildly praised right now. Because over the last 4 months, she's been operating based off of character. And this partnership with The Fiend, this Joker-Harley Quinn type partnership, even though The Fiend character is completely dead and buried, Alexa Bliss is doing excellent character work. That's why she's so wildly praised. Alexa Bliss is not getting over for her wrestling ability. She fucking sucks. She fucking sucks. Whether you want to admit it or not, this is not an opinion. This is a fact. Alexa Bliss is sloppy, uncoordinated, and she has not had a single decent performance in a match in God knows how long. In her tag team with Nikki Cross did 90% of the fucking work. On top of that, why do you need to give this woman a Royal Rumble win? What would Alexa Bliss challenging for the Raw or SmackDown Women's Championship do? What would it do? Alexa Bliss is already a made woman. She's a 2-time Women's Tag Team Champion, 2-time SmackDown Women's Champion, 3-time Raw Women's Champion. She held the Raw Women's Championship for 8 fucking months. She's had 2 matches with Ronda Rousey, of all people. Every single time she's competed at a WrestleMania, she was fighting in a championship match. She won the Women's Money in the Bank ladder match. She had a moment at WrestleMania 35 where she hosted it with Hulk Hogan. What more can you give this woman? You're really going to give this woman... You're going to give this woman the Royal Rumble over Bianca Belair, Rhea Ripley, and Bayley. Bayley's already a made woman, but at least if Bayley wins it, at least Bayley can actually fucking wrestle, and at least that would make sense to continue the storyline with Sasha Banks. I don't understand why you wouldn't give it to Bayley, because that makes sense. Or I don't understand why you wouldn't give it to a new star. I don't understand why you wouldn't give it to a new star and you wouldn't give it to Rhea Ripley. She can face off against Asuka. That would be a great crowning moment to put Rhea Ripley in the spotlight for the next year plus. Same thing with Bianca. Why can't Bianca win the Royal Rumble and beat Sasha Banks for the SmackDown Women's title at WrestleMania? Great crowning moment for Bianca Belair. The fact that Bianca Belair has been on the main roster for a fucking year and you haven't done jack shit with her is beyond me. Well, I really don't know what more I can say about that. If you're in support of Alexa Bliss winning the Royal Rumble, you are undoubtedly the dumbest individual I think I've ever come across. And I will state, this is a common trend for the entire stream and my entire run as DJ Storms. I don't have a single ounce of respect for you. Alexa Bliss winning the Rumble would be 20 steps back from where we need to go for the women's division. My phone's fucking blowing up. What do I got here? Look at this shit. Whether you want to admit it or not, Alexa Bliss is merely in the position that she is in because she looks like a porn star. That ain't sexism, that's facts. And on top of that, I can't fucking stand Alexa Bliss, but giving her the Royal Rumble over a new star, it would mean absolutely nothing because Alexa Bliss, she's pretty much had a Hall of Fame-worthy career, if I'm going to be quite honest, based on her accomplishments. Matter of fact, I can't stand Alexa Bliss, but she has had more of a Hall of Fame-worthy career than Tori Wilson, than Sunny, and the Bella Twins. It's facts. Moving on. This mic is strong, I'm telling you. This mic is very, very strong. What do we got over here? Is that a little better? Is the echo still there? Let me know if the echo is still there. What do we got over here? There's 14 people watching. There's only 11 thumbs up. That's a problem. That's a problem. So, moving on to the next report. Moving on to the next report from Odds Checker. According to Odds Checker, Keith Lee is actually now the favorite to win the 2021 Men's Royal Rumble match. Keith Lee actually sits atop the pile with a 4-1 favorite, followed up by Big E with a 6-1 favorite, Edge with a 7-1 favorite, and Goldberg with a 7-1 favorite. Now, I don't understand why Edge, Big E, or Goldberg are even in the conversation for winning the Royal Rumble right now, considering that Big E's the Intercontinental Champion, Edge is 45 years old, and he still has a program with Orton to figure out, and Goldberg, kill me. Kill me. Keith Lee winning the Royal Rumble. Now, I would not mind that. I'm not going to lie, I would not be opposed to Keith Lee winning the Royal Rumble. I wouldn't. I wouldn't. The thing that I have a problem with is this. First, the positives. Keith Lee winning the Royal Rumble, it would be positive because, A, it's unpredictable, and you don't know whether he's going to choose Drew McIntyre and take the title off of McIntyre, which would be a good moment for him, or B, he could choose Roman Reigns, and you could build off the history that Roman Reigns and Keith Lee had all the way back at Survivor Series of 2019. And that would be an interesting scenario. That would be an interesting back and forth. That could be a scenario where Roman Reigns and the character that he's playing could actually help rejuvenate Keith Lee and get Keith Lee over. But the problem that I have is the fact that if Keith Lee wins the Royal Rumble and he faces either Drew McIntyre or Roman Reigns, you're pretty much using the Royal Rumble as a saving grace to fix what you fucked up with Keith Lee. Because Keith Lee, over the course of the last 4 months, has been destroyed and ruined. He's been stripped of everything that made him Keith Lee. So now WWE needs to rebuild that. They're not doing a very good job, but now they need to rebuild it. And if winning the Royal Rumble and facing off against either Roman or Drew at WrestleMania means rebuilding that, I would not mind that, but I don't want to see Keith Lee win the Royal Rumble just to have his career rejuvenated on the main roster. I mean, in a sense, it would be WWE pretty much admitting that they fucked up with Keith Lee, and now they need to correct their mistake. Meanwhile, if someone like a Daniel Bryan wins the Royal Rumble, that would actually tell a better story if he faces Roman Reigns, which I would not mind. Daniel Bryan and Keith Lee, those are your top two contenders to win the Royal Rumble. If I'm going to go with one, I'm going with Daniel Bryan. I'm going with Daniel Bryan because that tells the better story with Roman Reigns. Keith Lee, you could still get Keith Lee into a WWE Championship title picture at WrestleMania. I don't know if they're going to do that. To be quite honest, I don't have any faith in them. Just look at what they're fucking doing with Keith Lee right now. He's being used as a fucking pawn, which I'm going to go into. He's being used as a pawn to spark up the rivalry with Drew McIntyre and Sheamus, which we're going to get into in a minute. We're going to go into the Raw review in a minute. Just wait. But Keith Lee winning the Royal Rumble, I wouldn't be opposed to it. It's unpredictable, it's new, it's fresh, it's never been done before, and you could build off either McIntyre or Reigns. Reigns preferably would be better considering that the story is there. But if you're just doing it to correct the fuck-ups that you made, I don't like that. Because you should not be fucking up to begin with. My final report before we move on to the weekly show reviews, Steve Carrier of Ringside News provided an update on where the Randy Orton-Alexa Bliss angle is leading to. Of course, you know Randy Orton burned Alexa Bliss alive all the way back on Monday, on the final Raw of 2020, he burned Alexa Bliss alive. So Steve Carrier, he tweeted this out. WWE has a lot of things in motion. We are told that another Bray Wyatt's Fiend versus Randy Orton gimmick match is happening at the Royal Rumble. As for all the other matches planned, they could just give them away on television leading up to January 31st, right? Yes. Yes, they could. End quote. So, the only reason why I can imagine that this storyline is continuing, even though it shouldn't continue, and even if this wasn't the case, I still wouldn't have it continue. Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt's program, it's merely continuing because of the simple fact that Edge is not ready. That's the only thing that I can think of. Edge is not ready. Because if I was booking this, I would have Randy Orton in the Rumble. Edge returns at the Rumble and eliminates Randy Orton, thus sparking the feud and sparking the program going into the matchup at WrestleMania 37 and the supposed I Quit matchup. So, that's where I see this leading to. The only reason why this match is taking place is because Edge is not ready to come back. Because if Edge was ready to come back, I would assume WWE would do the right thing, put Randy in the Rumble, put Edge in the Rumble, and boom, we get the storyline there. So, I don't know what's happening. I don't know where it's leading to. It should not happen. I don't care for it whatsoever. And I, quite frankly, don't give a single shit what happens. I really don't. We'll see what happens, but those are your news, rumors, and reports for now. Let's check the chat. The chat's been very active. Jofo in the ring, I believe he's still here. We got 12 people watching, 13 likes. Earl Cole's here. Adam's here. Cameron Johnson's here. How you doing? Seth Rollins is not winning the Rumble, Earl, nor should he. We don't need that. Rant mode was definitely activated. Tuber chat, connect and grow. How you doing? Hopefully you're still here. RKO says, Jofo in the ring. Danielle, I have a forever image of Randy Orton in my head. I know what you're talking about. Please, let's keep it PG here. Well, actually, we're not keeping it PG. Who am I kidding? Adam says, I wish Randy Orton would burn the production truck alive. You and me both, bro. Yes, Adam. It's Royal Rumble 2018 playing in the background. Cool King. They just keep Alexa Bliss around because of her looks. You're damn right, bro. It's the only reason why. It's because she looks like a porn star. If Alexa Bliss looked like Bianca Belair, if Alexa Bliss looked like Bayley, if she looked like... who else? I'm like getting all these notifications. Who's texting me? That's come on. I'm live. I'm live, and you're giving me all this shit. Let me just check my phone for now. I'm sorry. Unbelievable. Anyway, should we get into the Raw review? Because I got some rants. Should we get into the Raw review? I got some rants. Raw sucked. Raw sucked if you didn't already know. It absolutely fucking sucked. We did have some beautiful tributes to Luke Harper, a.k.a. Brody Lee, a.k.a. Mr. Jonathan Huber. How you doing, Leo? I'll check the chat after the Raw review. So Luke Harper's picture was showed at the start of the show. Tom Phillips and Drew McIntyre, they both said, it's Monday. You know what that means. McIntyre, at the beginning of his promo, sounded very serious, very somber. He looked like he was trying to hold back some tears. He said, yeah, it's time for Monday Night Raw. He reflected on his year, talked about defending the WWE title, losing it for a few weeks and regaining it. He talked about defending it next week at Legends Night. Sheamus then came out. They talked about last week and what happened to Lee. Sheamus was acting very brotherly. Keith Lee then came out. He says that, this is real cute. You look a little proud, Drew. What a clever boy you are, Sheamus. There is zero trust now. Your word, he talked about Drew McIntyre's word, your word is as good as his. Meaning Drew McIntyre's word is as good as Sheamus's. So we had Keith Lee saying, every fiber in my being has decided to wait until later where I will face you, or I will force you to issue an apology. And Drew, you should reconsider your best friends. Sheamus obviously took exception to this. And we had Drew saying, next week, no matter the outcome, Drew McIntyre still remains WWE Champion. Sheamus then bro-kicked Lee twice before the commercial break. So then we had the number one contenders match. And I'm telling you, I don't know what the fuck. I was watching Keith Lee very, very intently during this. And I'm watching Keith Lee, and I'm watching him wrestle. I'm watching him move. I'm listening to him talk. And I'm like, what happened? I'm like, what the fuck happened? I'm watching this, and I'm like, why is Keith Lee moving like he's 900 pounds? It's like I'm watching Braun Strowman wrestle. It's like I'm legitimately watching Braun Strowman wrestle. Why is Keith Lee wrestling like he's Andre the Giant? Why is he wrestling like he's Giant Gonzalez? Why is he wrestling like he's the Big Show? Keith Lee's not the Big Show. Keith Lee is Keith Lee. It's like Vince McMahon is when he sent them down to the Performance Center. It's like Vince McMahon and Bruce Pritchard, they're handcuffing Keith Lee just like they're handcuffing everyone else. They're not allowing these guys to go out there and do what they are known for doing. It's like these guys get up to the main roster and Vince McMahon needs to water them down and make them feel just like everyone else. I'm watching this, I'm like, what is this? This is not what Keith Lee is all about. This is not the Keith Lee that we are used to seeing. 6 months ago, Keith Lee put on a great match with Adam Cole, and he was doing 75 times the shit that he was doing in this match with Sheamus. What are they doing? What are they doing to him? I honest to God, I honest to God don't understand. I really don't. I don't understand. I'm watching this, and Keith Lee is doing so many standard moves. He's not being Keith Lee. He's not doing jumps. He's not doing leapfrogs. He's not doing swift moves. Keith Lee is swift. Keith Lee is crisp. Keith Lee was not swift or crisp in this. He was sloppy. He was uncoordinated. It legitimately looked like I was watching a black Braun Strowman. I don't know what the fuck happened. I don't know what they're doing, but this merely just goes to show you that Keith Lee has been ruined, destroyed, and he is on the route to be, he's pretty much got one foot in the grave. He's pretty much 4 or 5 scoops of dirt away from being buried. Plain and simple. Just because he's in a WWE Championship match, just because he won this match, does not mean anything. Matter of fact, you know what it means? The fact that he's in a WWE Championship match next week, again, he's being used as a pawn. He's being used as a middleman to spark up the feud between Drew McIntyre and Sheamus, and he's being put in a WWE Championship match against Drew McIntyre to try and spark up the ratings, where he's not going to win because they have nobody else. There's nobody else. You're not going to do Sheamus and Drew away for free on Raw. That's been building for 2 months. That that is going to be saved for a pay-per-view, more likely than not at the Royal Rumble. So you're not going to do that. You're not going to do Sheamus and Drew McIntyre away for free when that's been building for 2 months. I don't think WWE would be that stupid. So they put Keith Lee in that position to get a WWE title match on the show because they got nobody else. They got nobody else. They got nobody else. They got no one else for Drew McIntyre to feast on before we eventually get Drew McIntyre and Sheamus. And more likely than not, Sheamus is going to end up costing Keith Lee the match. More likely than not, Keith Lee is going to have another disqualification loss. Keith Lee is ruined. Keith Lee is destroyed. Keith Lee is buried. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter he's in a WWE title match. Look at what they've done with him over the course of the last 4 months. How many disqualification losses does Keith Lee have on his WWE main roster record? The guy lost to Miz and Morrison. And don't give me the fucking excuse that it's a handicap match. Miz and Morrison are two of the least most credible individuals throughout the entire WWE right now. Miz and Morrison, I don't give a shit what happened in the past. Their past glory means nothing if you are not booked credible now. Keith Lee is ruined. Keith Lee is buried. Keith Lee is a shell of his former self. I don't believe that this is the same guy that I saw fight Adam Cole for the NXT Championship and the NXT North American Championship, and he put on a great match. A great match. Look at the year that Keith Lee had. It's like a tale of two cities for Keith Lee. The first 8 months of 2020 was Keith Lee's crowning achievements of his career. Winning the NXT North American title. Facing off against Lesnar. Great match with Dijakovic. Probably the match of the year with fucking Dijakovic. A great NXT North American title reign beating guys like Priest and Dijakovic and Grimes and Gargano and Balor. And now he's nothing. He's nothing. Keith Lee wins with a spirit bomb. And next week we get McIntyre and Keith Lee for the WWE Championship. What is Keith Lee going to do next week? Not even next week. What is Keith Lee going to do in 2 days that we didn't see him do here against Sheamus? Are they going to allow Keith Lee to wrestle like Keith Lee? I doubt it. I doubt it. We got 15 likes. Get this bitch to 30 likes. Share it out everywhere. That was fucking satisfying right there. I think I just swallowed a little bit of an ice cube. That was satisfying. It really was. Grand Metalik defeated The Miz. Grand Metalik won with a roll-up. What does this mean? I don't know, nor do I care. But if I was booking this, I would build up the Lucha House Party to be an interim opponent for the Hurt Business. Because you know the Hurt Business ain't losing the tag team titles anytime soon. I would actually fucking utilize the Lucha House Party on Raw, and I would give Grand Metalik and Lince Dorado a Raw tag team title match probably at the Elimination Chamber. Because the Hurt Business, they're not losing the titles till WrestleMania, which we'll talk about later. But Grand Metalik beat The Miz, who cares? If Grand Metalik beat The Miz, but Keith Lee can't, that should tell you all you need to know about what WWE really thinks of Keith Lee. Even if it was a fluky win. Elias and AJ, they got into it in the back. AJ actually called Elias Johnny Trash. He said, "You're not Johnny Cash, you're Johnny Trash." Which he's right, by the way. Elias is trash, and that's on WWE, and their shit booking. They made Elias into trash. So AJ challenged Elias for a match later on, and we get the match. Dana Brooke. Dana Botch. Dangerous Brooke. Because every single time she's on TV, I'm telling you, my stress level goes up. It's not good for my condition here. So WWE, if you can keep Dana Brooke off of television, if you can fire her, my intestines would appreciate it. Shayna Baszler hyperextended the elbow of Brooke. Baszler locked in the Karafuda clutch for the win, and then afterwards she attacked Mandy. Brooke tried to save her. We had a spinning neck breaker. Karafuda clutch tap out. And then Shayna put the Karafuda clutch on Mandy, and Shayna stood tall, and that was that. that was that. I don't know what this means, but I can only hope that it means that Shayna Baszler is breaking away from Nia Jax sooner rather than later. We had Alexa's Playground. Alexa was swinging on the swings. Alexa Bliss, she says maybe he is waiting for Legends Night to meet his hero Hulk Hogan. Maybe he's eating his vitamins and saying his prayers. She introduced Randy Orton, but Randy Orton did not come out, but his music played. She then said, "How? You light someone on fire and then you never see them again. How rude." Orton then appeared in the Firefly Funhouse. Yes, Orton appeared in the Firefly Funhouse. Orton, he was kicking and attacking the puppets. I think he threw Mercy the Buzzard into Abby the Witch, and then he ripped off Rambling Rabbit's head, which I don't know why. I found this to be hilarious. I absolutely found this to be hilarious. So Alexa Bliss, she was like, "Stop, stop, stop. I challenge you to a showdown later in the ring." Orton, of course, accepted because he thought that this would be the time that The Fiend returns. So then we had Elias and AJ Styles. We had Elias and AJ Styles, and I'm going to be quite honest here. I did not see this match as much in the beginning, but ultimately, it didn't turn out to be that bad of a match. I'm not gonna lie. It didn't turn out to be that bad of a match. So, I'm watching this, and I don't know what it was. I'm not sure if it was because Elias was in the ring with AJ Styles, or because Elias actually improved a little bit. I'm not sure. But the match itself was not that bad. Now, did it mean anything in the long run? No, but it was not that bad of a match. I will give Elias and AJ credit here. They put on a semi-decent match for the time that they were given, I will say. So, we had Elias in control. We had a Meteora off the top rope. AJ actually sold it very well. We had Elias with a crossroads for a 2. Elias went up to the middle rope. We had a Pele kick to Elias, sending him off the rope. Elias caught AJ in a TKO for a 2. Styles then with a forearm and then a springboard into the phenomenal forearm. And Styles gets the win over Elias. Elias didn't look half bad. Styles, of course, is AJ Styles. You can't really shit on AJ Styles because Styles is great. So, ultimately, it wasn't a bad match, but ultimately, in the long run, it really didn't mean anything. Did not mean anything, and ultimately, it was just a match used to fill time. It was decent. Really nothing too special. I don't know why the quality's glitching out a little bit here. Hang on. I don't know why the health here. I'm not sure what's going on. I don't know why the quality's not too good over here. I don't know what's going on here. But hopefully it doesn't experience too much buffering. I apologize about that. But we're going to continue on. We got plenty more to get through. So, after that, we had Ricochet and Mustafa Ali, which was actually a very good match. This was actually a very good match right here. I was actually very, very, very impressed. I was actually very, very impressed by both Ricochet and Mustafa Ali. Not as good as their first match, but still a good match. We had Ricochet getting caught with a neckbreaker by Ali for a 2. Both men brawled on the top rope. We had T-Balls. And Disgrace. They got involved. They sent Ricochet into the barricade. We had a big splash by Ali to Ricochet on the floor. We then had a backstabber off the ropes for a 2 by Ali. Ricochet with a backflip into the German suplex. We had a big clothesline by Ricochet. Detonation kick, but Mace pulled Ali out. Retribution then swarmed the ring. We had a DDT to T-Balls, which it looked like it was botched, actually. Where we saw, I think, T-Balls slipped off the ring. It looked like they were aiming for the apron, but they ended up crashing to the floor. So, I actually hope he's okay. I'd be surprised if he doesn't have a neck issue. That looked fucking brutal there. Slapjack then got dropped. We had a DDT, a swinging DDT to Mace on the outside. It almost reminded me of when Johnny Gargano fought the Undisputed Era at TakeOver New York when he was facing Adam Cole. So I believe they were trying for that underdog, come from behind babyface mentality. We then got a shooting star press by Ricochet, but Ali got the knees up into the Koji clutch and Ricochet passed out. Undoubtedly the best thing on the show. Very, 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 very good match with Ricochet and Mustafa Ali. Afterwards, we had Ali taking the microphone. Ali took the microphone and he was going on about how one man cannot make a change. When will you learn you have no chance, but now I will give you a chance. Join Retribution. What is your decision? Ricochet said, I will, and then he says not be joining Retribution. Afterwards, he delivered the recoil to Mr. Ali, and then he got out of Dodge. And that was that. Charlotte Flair and Nia Jax. This match was garbage. Baszler and Asuka got involved. Baszler caused the DQ by locking in the Karafuda clutch on Charlotte during the matchup. This is your weekly fuck Charlotte Flair and all of her supporters. Afterwards, we had the Hurt Business versus the New Day, Jeff Hardy and Riddle. We did have some Brody Lee tributes, some John Huber tributes in this match, which I thought was great. We had a boom drop to Cedric, Woods with an elbow to the back of Cedric. We had Woods with the discus lariat. And then we had a swanton bomb. Lashley saved it. Lashley then tagged in, delivered the Hurt Lock, and Jeff Hardy tapped out. And then afterwards, we go to the back, and Adam Pearce was in the back, and he returned the Money in the Bank contract to The Miz. I'm not fucking kidding. They gave The Miz the Money in the Bank contract back. I don't know. I really don't know where this is leading to. Nor do I care. I don't know where this is leading to. Nor do I fucking care. But I swear to God. I swear to God. If they're really planning on giving The Miz the WWE Championship, I'm telling you, it's going to be a lost fucking cause. It's a lost cause. The Miz will do absolutely nothing with the WWE Championship. Matter of fact, The Miz is the WWE Champion will make the show worse. The Miz is a complete scrub. The Miz is a complete scrub. I don't even want to waste too much time on this. All I'm going to tell you is that this just further proves how piss poor WWE's creative is. It just goes to show you how piss poor the Money in the Bank contract has been handled. The Money in the Bank contract has not had a decent holder since Moxley. Ever since Moxley won it, the Money in the Bank contract holder has been a complete waste of everyone's time. I don't really know what else I can tell you there. I really don't. I swear to God, I'm really just hoping. I really am. I'm really fucking hoping that sooner rather than later, Miz fails again. If Miz fails again, it's a lose situation. If The Miz succeeds, it's a lose situation. The Miz with the contract is a lose-lose situation. Now, if the contract was on someone like AJ Styles, Daniel Bryan, or Aleister Black, maybe we would be singing a different tune. But we're not. It's on the fucking Miz. Moving on. So, Alexa Bliss, she came out to challenge Randy Orton. Alexa Bliss came out to challenge Randy Orton. Orton came out, he said, "Where is he?" And Alexa Bliss told Orton, "This is not about him. This is about me." So she brought in a present. She unwrapped it, and it was gasoline and a lighter. She placed it down by Orton's feet, and she said, "I challenge you to do to me what you did to him." So she made a trail of gasoline. She laid down with her mic, and she's like, "Damn it, Randy, just do it." She said, "You don't have the guts to light that match. You're nothing but a little bitch." She then drenched herself in gasoline, quote unquote. Earl, it's a fact. Don't deny it. The Money in the Bank briefcase is a complete waste of time right now. The concept is dead. We haven't had a good winner since Moxley. The Miz sucks. The Miz sucks. The Miz is not going to be a good champion. The Miz, I wish The Miz would have just cashed it in and then they would have just left it at that. They would have just left it at that. It's a dead concept. The concept is done for the year. We need to focus on this year and whether or not we get a decent winner this year. Miz is a dead character. The Money in the Bank concept is a concept that has been beaten into the ground. So, from there, Alexa Bliss, she drenched herself in quote-unquote gasoline. And Orton says, "You think I'm not capable? I want to do it, but I know that's what you want. You want to see the Fiend?" So the lights then start to go out, little by little, and then we cut to a face-to-face camera angle, as if we're looking through Alexa Bliss's eyes. Randy Orton has the match, and he's going to light Alexa Bliss on fire. He's going to light Alexa Bliss on fire before the camera fades away. And that was pretty much that. And that's how Raw went off the air. I don't know where this is leading to. I don't know what they're doing. To be quite honest, I don't give a shit. It means nothing at the end of the day. And to be quite honest, I am just hoping that after this supposed rumored match at the Rumble, that's it. That's all I'm hoping for. I'm just hoping that Edge can finally come back and we can finally move on and we can finally put Randy Orton in a decent storyline after the Edge storyline. I don't know where Edge goes. I'm assuming that Edge will probably go off into a 5-month vacation, and then he'll come back for SummerSlam. I'm not sure if this is going to be the deciding factor that really makes Edge content with retiring. I don't know. We'll find out. But that was Monday Night Raw. That was Monday Night Raw for you. Okay, so here's what I want y'all to do. I want you to block, report, and ban all the trolls in this chat. Apparently, some people just cannot seem to get it through their heads what being a decent human being is all about. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm this close to, like, just putting the chat down. These fucking losers. I don't know where these trolls are coming from, but you're going to get blocked. You're going to get blocked. You're going to get reported. Because I'm not standing for the trolls. I'm not standing for the BS. I'm making that clear. Don't fuck with me. Danielle, you're in charge of that. Put these bastards down. Light the bastards up. Let's check the chat. Proud mixed child. Proud to have you here. Proud to have you here. WWE is certainly a joke. Just like the people who hide behind the YouTube screen. Just like a lot of, just like 6 people already did. 6 dislikes. Hey, I don't care. You give me free views. Dumb bastards. You dumb bastards. Cool King knows. Cool King knows. I appreciate you, Cool King. Peanuts is still here. How you doing, Peanuts? We need about 3 more likes to get to 20 likes. So I'm going to need you guys to help me out there. We need about 3 more likes to get to 20 likes, if you can help me there. Oh my god, the fake accounts. Tell me about it. See, I'm too real for them. I'm too good. They can't touch me. Remember that. Seth Rollins should not win Money in the Bank, Earl. I don't really know who's going to win Money in the Bank, but it should not be Seth Rollins. We don't need Seth Rollins winning Money in the Bank. He already won Money in the Bank. Jofo in the ring, he left. I hope that Jofo has a good day. Hey, look, on the bright side, hey, the trolls helped me get to over 100 views already. So I'm looking at the analytics right now. I got 100 views already. I got 100 fucking views already. I don't care. I got 18 likes. Look at that. Look at that. 18 likes already. Over 100 views. I'm money. If I swear to God, I really should have invested time to make money in this shit. You were watching me from the store. You see, I'm the highlight of people's days, whether you love me or you hate me. Thank you, Peanuts. Anyway, we're going to talk about AEW Dark. AEW Dark, really nothing special. It was really nothing more than a 2-hour enhancement show. If anything, the main event was the only match worth going back and watching. We had Vadi Morales versus Rey Fenix. Morales actually looked fairly decent in this match, not going to lie. He looked fairly decent. We had a satellite DDT on Phoenix for a 2. Phoenix then came back with a shotgun drop kick, some spin kicks, and a spin-out muscle buster for the win. We had Lindsay Snow versus Penelope Ford. This is a standard showcase with a handspring cutter for the win by Miss Penelope Ford. We then had Shawn Dean and Tyson Maddox versus Alex Reynolds and John Silver. Standard showcase again. John Silver and Alex Reynolds win with the swift stiff strike combo with the stunner and the German suplex for the win. Jasmine Allure took on Anna Jay. Anna Jay then won with the Queen Slayer. Anna Jay won with the Queen Slayer. We then had The Waiting Room with Dr. Britt Baker. These wrestling-inspired talk shows are absolute shit. So, we then had Matt Sydal as the guest. And we had Britt Baker making a joke about his debut. Sydal then says he still feels like Shockmaster. Baker says that you can't seem to win the big one. Sydal says that When he's in the ring, it becomes his realm. So she got a letter from TBS saying to hang this poster of Go Big Show up in the waiting room. And we had Seidel taking exception to this, so he took a marker and he drew a third eye on Cody's head, obviously to mock Cody because he'll be taking on Cody on night 1 of New Year's Smash. And that was pretty much that. Really nothing all that special, nothing all that exciting, nothing you're going to go back and rewatch. We then had Team Taz versus Ryzen, James Tapia, and Nick Camarado. Team Taz decimated these 3 guys. We had a Drill Claw by Cage for the win. Drill Claw City, as Mr. Taz calls it. Hook. Taz's son Hook actually got involved. We had Fuego del Sol taking on Griff Garrison. Match wasn't bad, but Garrison is just so fucking one-dimensional. Garrison's fucking boring. Garrison is so fucking one-dimensional, it's not even funny. We then had a big discus elbow for the win. Pretty Peter Avalon was on commentary. He went to congratulate Garrison, but Garrison did not accept his portrait, his signed portrait. We had TNT, Terrence and Terrell Hughes versus Proud and Powerful. TNT didn't look half bad here. One thing that I actually found out from TNT is actually the twin sons of Devon Dudley. I did not know that. So that was actually a nice surprise there. We had Aaron Solo versus Sammy Guevara. Sammy with a very nice showcase here. We had a big rising knee, big springboard moonsault. Solo with a springboard foot stomp. We had a misdirect knee strike and a GTS for the win. Not GTS, GTH. GTH, the Go to Hospital, excuse me. Decent little match right here. Afterwards, Sammy took the mic. He says it marks the 10-year anniversary of him being a pro wrestler. I'm going to keep working to make you think. Sammy Guevara is the man here in AEW. So, Sammy is going to have a big 2021. Mark my words on that. Afterwards, we had Chaos Project. Chaos Project fucking sucks. They defeated Ariel Levy and El Cuervo de Puerto Rico. Chaos Project wins with the creeping death. And that was that. We had Maddie Rankowski versus Leyva Bates. Maddie didn't look half bad, but Leyva still sucks. Leyva's like Alicia Fox. All she can do is a fucking Northern Light suplex. Alicia Fox fucking sucks. We had a small package for the win, and that was that. Danny Limelight took on Matt Sydal. Matt Sydal ended up winning with the crucifix pin, and that was that. We had Vert Vixen versus Ty Conchi. We had a step-up knee strike by Ty. Belly-to-belly throw. Ty is actually coming along very, very nicely. This is actually a very nice showcase for 4 minutes. I'm very much loving what Ty Conchi is doing, and I think that Ty Conchi is going to be a very, 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 very good asset to the women's division in due time. So, from there, we got Ty Conchi winning with the spin out GTS. Ty Conchi gets the win. We had the Gun Club versus Royal Money, Baron Black, and Mike Verna. Colton Gunn ends up winning with the Colt 45. We then had SCU versus the Hybrid 2 in the main event. Kazarian was isolated. Some swift double team moves. We had a Blue Thunder Bomb by Christopher Daniels off the hot tag. A back suplex stomp by the Hybrid 2 for a 2. We had a powerbomb neckbreaker combo by SCU for a 2. We had a corkscrew moonsault and an assisted 450 by the Hybrid 2 for 2. Tag to Daniels, back suplex, gutbuster for the win, and SCU wins a damn good main event. And that was pretty much it. That was pretty much that. And the Acclaimed attacked afterwards, and the Bucks attacked to save SCU, and the babyfaces stood tall. Earl Cole, I'm not putting down Alicia Fox. I'm speaking the facts. She sucks. She sucks in the ring. Her character sucks. Alicia Fox is terrible. It's a fact. I don't care. I didn't say anything about her alcoholism. She sucks in the ring. She's a terrible wrestler. Period. It's a fact. End of story. AEW Dark. AEW Dark was not very good. AEW Dark was not very good. AEW Dark really needs to stop with the 16-match format. They need to go back to 5 to 6 matches, and it needs to be an hour. It needs to be an hour. I am not liking what they're doing with AEW Dark right now. I understand what they're doing. But they really just need to go back to the normal format for Dark. It's not working. It really is not working. So, AEW Dynamite this week, though. This was actually the best show of the week, hands down. And not just because of what they did for Brody. We had a lot of great wrestling on this show. The tributes were beautiful. The words said by everyone in attendance were beautiful. We had a 10-bell salute for Brody Lee. His son, -1, was wearing a Dark Order mask, which I thought was great. I thought that was very, very nice. Jon Moxley spoke on Brody Lee, and I didn't really take too many notes on what Jon Moxley said, but Jon Moxley spoke from the heart. It really did hit me hard there, and I loved what Jon Moxley said here. It was very, very heartfelt. Very, very heartfelt. So we had the Young Bucks and Colt Cabana versus Matt Hardy and Private Party. This was an excellent 6-man tag team match right here. We had the Bucks and Cabana with multiple planches. Cabana at 45 still doing moonsaults. You have to be impressed by that. Matt ended up hitting the Twist of Fate on Hardy. This was Matt Jackson hitting the Twist of Fate on Matt Hardy. Cabana got the hot tag. We had a double springboard moonsault, head scissor takedown on Mark Quinn. Beautifully done. We had a flying apple for a 2. We had the Bucks stopping the Hardy Party combo. We had a Hurricane Rana by Nick to Mark Quinn. Nick, then with a facebuster and a moonsault combo, we had the Gin and Juice into the Twist of Fate. And we had a Swanton Bomb by Cassidy. And a Shooting Star by Quinn. It was one move after the other, after the other, after the other. I thought it was excellent. Cabana was able to save it. Hardy then brought in a chair, but Quinn said no. Cabana then with the Chicago Skyline, the Indie Taker, and the Superman. And Colt Cabana and the Young Bucks win a great 6-man tag team match. Loved what they did. Afterwards, the Acclaimed came out before SCU attacked them. The Acclaimed got super kicked and elbowed, and the babyfaces stood tall yet again. I see that Jess Catanzaro's here. I've been wondering where you've been. You have been MIA for a while now. But I'm happy to see that you're back. I got a new setup here. I got a mic. Got a nice new mic. It's been a rough few weeks over there. Oh my God. Let me tell you something. No worries, Jess. I've had some rough times myself, considering that my intestinal condition just relapsed. So I got some soreness on my left side here. It's like a constant pain I'm gonna have to deal with. But I am currently taking some medications. I'll be back to full health sooner rather than later. I believe over the course of the next week, the medications will really start taking into effect. I promise I'll be good. Don't you worry. I'll be good. But I'm sorry about the rough few weeks. I hope you had a good Christmas. I hope you had a Happy New Year. Happy New Year's Eve as well. Moving on, we got Lance Archer, Evil Uno, and Stu Grayson. They took on Eddie Kingston, the Butcher and the Blade. Archer came out dressed as Luke Harper. Yes, Lance Archer came out dressed as Luke Harper. I thought that was a beautiful tribute. Absolutely beautiful tribute. Great, great, great stuff here. Loving what they were doing. If you ever need to talk, Jess, I believe I gave you my number, so just text me anytime you want. So, the Blade came in. Blade's very underrated. The Blade's very underrated. He put the beating on Grayson. Beautiful. Let me see what we got here. Hang on a minute. There we go. So, Blade with a beautiful power slam to Grayson. Now, I love what the Blade can do in the ring. We had Uno and Kingston. They were going at it. They had a little bit of a showdown. We had a double team by Butcher and the Blade. We had a DDT on Stu for 2. We then had Archer going right after Kingston. We had a DDT to the Butcher. We had the fatality on the Blade for the win. This was a very good 6-man tag again. And afterwards, Jake actually took a shot at Kingston, and they all embraced afterwards. All throughout the night, we were seeing all of these beautiful tributes to Brody, and all of these individuals talking about their greatest memories that they had with Brody. We had Bryce Remsburg in there. We had Frankie Kazarian. We had Christopher Daniels. We had Colt Cabana in there. And I loved what they were doing. I love what they were doing, and you can really tell it was heartfelt, and you can really tell how big of an influence Brody was on the wrestling world as a whole. I absolutely loved what they were doing. Great stuff. So, afterwards, we had Adam Hangman Page and John Silver and Alex Reynolds versus MJF, Santana, and Ortiz. Now, this was my personal favorite match of the night, based on the involvement from everyone else. So, we had Page with a hot tag, fast-paced, intense offense before the Inner Circle took over control. John Silver with the hot tag. He was taking out everyone. We had a big cannonball. We had an uppercut, crossbody, sit-out powerbomb to Ortiz. We had a Canadian Destroyer on MJF by Silver. The fact that Silver can do that, is very, very impressive. John Silver is an excellent pro wrestler. Love that. So, we had a Tope Suicida. We had a Heat Seeker, powerbomb, big kick combo, but Reynolds was able to save it. Wardlow came in. This was behind Aubrey Edwards' back. Wardlow came in, and then out of nowhere, we had Eric Rowan coming out to take out Wardlow. This was a beautiful fucking sequence right here. We had a stunner German suplex and a buckshot lariat combo. MJF put Ortiz's foot on the rope. Afterwards, MJF ripped the mask off of Brody Lee Jr. and he faked spitting on it. Brody Lee Jr. then hit MJF in the head with a kendo stick, which was great. And then we had a buckshot lariat. And then Page took out MJF. A discus lariat. Silver with the Mr. Brody Lee discus lariat. And he gets the win. And afterwards, Eric Rowan then held up a sign that said, "Goodbye for now, my brother. See you down the road." That was touching. That was heartfelt. That really hit me hard. But we got a lot of great wrestling, beautiful tributes. John Silver actually came out wearing Mr. Brody Lee's outfit. He came out wearing Mr. Brody Lee's ring gear. I thought that was beautiful. Lots and lots of beautiful tributes in this entire show. In this entire match, too. We had Eric Rowan in there. We had Brody Lee Jr. getting involved. John Silver wearing Brody Lee's ring gear. Beautiful stuff. Really beautiful stuff. So, we had Ty Conchi and Anna Jay versus Penelope Ford and Britt Baker. Normally, I would see a lot of sloppiness and uncoordination from the women, but the women in this match, they were on. They were on, and they were focused, they were determined, and I really do hope that Tony Khan really does give more of these women an opportunity, because I know how good Ty Conchi is, I know how good Anna Jay is. Britt Baker, she's really coming along as a very good heel. Penelope Ford, she's great. She had a great match with Sheeta all the way back at Fyter Fest over the summer. I know how good these women are, and I do want to see more. I want to see more opportunities for these women. So Baker and Ford, they isolated Ty before Anna Jay came in off the hot tag. Flipping neck breaker. We had a crucifix spin out slam by Conti. We had a sling blade by Baker to Conti. Anna Jay with the double kiss blow. Anna Jay did the double kiss blow, tribute to Mr. Brody Lee, but she got caught up in her emotions. We had a tag to Ford, a diving blockbuster for a 2. We had the Queen Slayer and Jay and Conchi get the win. This is a damn good women's match right here. Loved what they were doing right here. Britt then took the mic. She called Tony Schiavone down. She called everything a big rig, obviously in tribute to another one of John Huber's characters, before Thunder Rosa came out and then attacked Britt Baker. And it was confirmed that we will be getting Thunder Rosa and Britt Baker at New Year's Smash Part 2. So that should be a very, very interesting matchup. We have Jon Moxley returning next week. Omega and Phoenix are facing off for the world title next week. We got Hikaru Shida and Abaddon for the Women's World Championship next week. The Bucks and SCU will take on the Hybrid 2 and the Acclaimed next week. We got Cody and Seidel next week. And we got Hager and Wardlow next week. So, afterwards, we got a 6-man tag, a very fun 6-man tag. And we got Cody getting the hot tag. They mixed it up with Starks. We had 10 getting a hot tag. 10 with a beautiful powerbomb in tribute to Brody Lee. We had a big spear by Starks, a tornado DDT by Cassidy, a pounce by Powerhouse Hobbs, super kick by Cody. Cage then took out Cody. A tornado DDT by Starks for a 2. Taz then got a chair. So did Arn. We had the Orange Punch, the Crossroads, and then a Spinebuster by 10 for the win. Very fun match right here. Afterwards, Team Taz attacked. But afterwards, we had Darby Allin and Sting coming down from the rafters, and Darby Allin and Sting sent Team Taz away. Coming back from commercial, we had Cody in the ring. He talked about how Brody Lee positively affected everyone in every company and every locker room. All of these stories. He was a beautiful man, and then he introduced his son, Brody Lee Jr. So he came out with his family. Khan then came out with the TNT Championship and presented -1 with the TNT title. He said, TNT Champion for life. You could tell how emotional Tony Khan was getting and how much he loved Brody Lee. And I truthfully believe that Tony Khan had a really, really, really genuine relationship with Mr. Brody Lee. Afterwards, they played a beautiful tribute to Brody Lee, and I absolutely loved it. This was an excellent episode of AEW Dynamite. Lots of great wrestling, a great tribute, and what they're doing with New Year's Smash, I think, is going to be even better. My God, my phone is still blowing up. There's so many people texting me. I swear. So many people texting me, I swear to God. I'm way too popular for my own good. We're going to check the chat. I'm going to check the chat here. And yes, AEW did a great job for Brody, says Jess. Dynamite was a 10 out of 10. I loved it. Wasn't a perfect show, but I loved it. Danielle, yeah, Danielle's bragging about how she knows all these celebrities. Danielle bragging, of course. I had a feeling you were in love with Chino. My Twitter is blowing up still. I'm telling you, I really am way too popular for my own good. There's only 19 likes. Here's what we need. We need to get to at least 30 likes. We got 133 views. We need to get to 30 likes and 200 views. We got 2 more shows to dissect. We're going to dissect 2 more shows, and then we're going to get out of here. We're actually making great time, so we're not going to go overboard. Earl, you be safe. Thank you very much for joining. I greatly appreciate you. 13 people watching. I need you guys to hit the like button. Come on. I need you guys to hit the like button if you haven't already done so. Share it out. Hit that like button. We are at 19 likes, 134 views right now. The analytics, this is a great way to start off the new year. It really is. It's an excellent way to start off the new year. I'm very, very happy. I'm starting off the new year with such an excellent stream because I'm just that damn good. I'm just that damn good. I'm just that damn good. So, for NXT this week. So, the show itself wasn't bad. I don't want to say the show was bad. The show itself had some decent moments, and they're actually... You have a great week. You have a great week, Jess. Thank you very much for joining. I greatly appreciate you, and God bless. The show is not necessarily a bad show. They're setting up some decent material going into 2021, but it still just feels like a lackluster product. And that's just the fact that everything has just been destroyed. That's just how everything has just been destroyed from NXT that we all know and love from NXT. And everything that NXT once was has just been stripped. And that's what I can't stand. That's really just what I can't stand. So, we had Isaiah Swerve Scott and Bronson Reed starting off the show. We had Swerve. Swerve was in control. Reed tried to mount a comeback. We had a spinning choke slam for a 2. Reed with a senton and a tsunami splash for the win. This was nothing special right here. Bronson Reed gets the win. I do expect Bronson Reed to have a breakout year in 2021. Keep your eye on Bronson Reed. The match wasn't anything special, but keep your eye on Bronson Reed. So, we had the NXT Year-End Awards. The 2020 Breakout Star of the Year was Shotzi Blackheart. Now, I'm not really sure what Shotzi Blackheart really did. She didn't win any championships. I'm assuming that Triple H loves her, and we are going to see a lot more of Shotzi Blackheart in 2021, which I hope we do. Matter of fact, I do have faith that Shotzi Blackheart will be the NXT Women's Champion sooner rather than later. We then had Breezango versus the Grizzled Young Veterans. And this was actually a fairly good tag team match for what it was. And they are building up the Grizzled Young Veterans very, very nicely. We had swift back and forth tag team moves from both teams before Fandango actually jumped off of the platform. And he actually hurt his knee. So Fandango's knee was part of the story for this matchup. Fandango was then isolated before Breeze came in off of the hot tag. He was taking out both men, Breeze, then with the jumping knee. Gibson then took out Fandango. And we had a Ticket to Mayhem hit for the win. Decent tag team match, really nothing too special. Everrise then came out. They were acting all tough. Grizzled Young Veterans then started coming up the ramp. And of course, Everrise backed off. So we're obviously going to see Everrise versus the Grizzled Young Veterans at some point. And Grizzled Young Veterans are going to beat Everrise. 2020 Tag Team of the Year was the Undisputed Era. The Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic is actually returning in 2 weeks. I don't know what they're going to do, but I'm very happy that the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic is returning. That, I really do hope, gives a sense of importance to the brand. I really do hope it gives a sense of importance to the tag team division. Interesting scenario. The Undisputed Era will be represented in the tournament by Adam Cole and Roderick Strong. I don't know about you, but I actually like that. I actually like that Kyle O'Reilly is staying in the singles main event spotlight. I actually don't mind Adam Cole and Roderick Strong teaming together. It actually gives the tag team division and the tag team titles a sense of importance. I don't know if you got that, but Grizzled Young Veterans get the win over Breezango. That was great. Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic is returning in 2 weeks, and I don't know about you, but I am going with the Grizzled Young Veterans to win the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. And the Grizzled Young Veterans would be an excellent team to put forth as the winners and to face off against Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch to win the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. I'm going with Grizzled Young Veterans to win. Xia Li and Boa, they were training again. And the mystery woman, she had black ash on her thumb, and she marked Boa and Xia Li. She marked Boa, she marked Xia Li, and it's almost as if she was blessing them. And then she breathed smoke. She breathed as if she was a fire-breathing dragon. It's almost as if she was saying, "You're ready." And then she opened the curtains and they walked out. It's almost as if they're venturing into the world. They're venturing into a new chapter. They're ready to take on the world. And they're coming next week at New Year's Evil. This is very, very intriguing. I don't give a shit about Xia Li. I didn't give a shit about Boa. But now I'm actually very, very intrigued to see what they do. I think this is going to be an excellent storyline that could potentially give NXT a sense of interest. I'm actually very much looking forward to seeing what they do here. Mercedes Martinez versus Valentina Feroz, I believe her name was. Valentina Feroz. Air raid crash for the win. Mercedes Martinez is going to be a big player in the women's division. Trust me on that. NXT 2020 Female Competitor of the Year was Io Shirai. Male Competitor of the Year was Adam Cole. We had Pete Dunne versus Roderick Strong. This was a very good match for what it was. Very physical, very hard-hitting. Strong and Dunne, they went right after each other. Hard-hitting, physical offense. Strong with a wrecking ball drop kick. Dunne eventually took over. Strong then came back with a drop kick, a big facebuster, and a rising knee strike. We had forearm after forearm after forearm after forearm by Roderick Strong. Half Nelson backbreaker on the apron. Dunne, then with the triangle, tried to make Roderick Strong tap out, but Roderick Strong was not tapping out. We then had the finger snap that Pete Dunne does, the wishbone, and then we had the bitter end, and Pete Dunne defeats Roderick Strong in a very good match, and I do see Roderick Strong and Adam Cole possibly going to the semifinals in the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. As far as Pete Dunne goes, whenever the next takeover is, they've been teasing it. There's a lot of people targeting Finn Balor. I do see them doing Finn Balor versus Pete Dunne for the NXT Championship, probably at the next takeover, before we get Karrion Kross eventually taking on Finn Balor, which I would not mind. I would not mind at all. We had the 2020 match of the year for NXT being Finn Balor and Kyle O'Reilly. I don't understand why Adam Cole versus Tommaso Ciampa was not nominated. Back when we actually had live human beings in attendance. But that's just me. So Finn Balor, he came out with Kyle O'Reilly's award. He came out with Kyle O'Reilly's award to present it to him. And he says, "You deserve this, Kyle." So Kyle ended up coming out. Balor says, "You deserve it, but I don't need it because I've got this." So he's talking about the NXT Championship, obviously. He says he's got 3 steel plates in his jaw. And O'Reilly says, "This is proof that I belong at the top of NXT, but I don't need it. This is a consolation prize. I want the real thing. I want the real prize, and next week, I leave my respect at home." That, meaning Kyle O'Reilly, that NXT title, that says that Kyle O'Reilly is worth a damn, and next week it comes home with me. Balor says he'll do anything in his power to make him suffer. "You broke my jaw, and I'm going to make you pay. I'm going to wish that you had shit the bed the first time." Now, it was bleeped out, but I was reading his lips. I understood what he said. I'm going to make sure that you shit the bed the first time. I can't speak today, I'm sorry. So that's what Finn Balor said. I thought it was a great back and forth, an excellent promo by Finn Balor and Kyle O'Reilly. And then afterwards, we had Cross and Scarlett coming out. Scarlett was saying a few things in Latin, and then Scarlett goes, "What's in that ring belongs to us, and it's irrelevant who leaves with it in 7 days because your fate is already sealed." So Cross took the microphone, and he said, "Doomsday is here. Tick tock." And then afterwards, Priest was standing behind him. They backed the camera away, and Priest was standing behind him. So Karrion Kross turned around, obviously unfazed, and he goes, "You got something to say to me, Mr. Priest?" So Priest goes, "This is how you step like a man." And he absolutely fucking clonked the shit out of Karrion Kross with a right forearm. Let me tell you something. Damian Priest and his right forearms, they're fucking brutal. He fucking lays into you, Damian Priest. Karrion Kross, the fact that he took this shit, he fucking swung for the fences with this right forearm, did Damian Priest. And the fact that Karrion Kross took it and just continued on like it was nothing, that goes to show you how much of a tough motherfucker Karrion Kross really is. It was a fucking brutal. He clonked the shit out of him. I would have been out. A normal guy like me, I would have been out. I would have been absolutely out. So I gotta give Kross a lot of credit for being able to take that shit. So they brawled all around the Capitol Wrestling Center. They were tearing down stands. They were tearing down curtains. They brawled through the plexiglass. They brawled into the tech area. Priest actually reversed the suplex, and both men crashed through tables as Scarlett was just sitting above them, just laughing, as if she likes this. She likes the carnage. I don't know about you, but if there's one match that I'm actually looking forward to the most at New Year's Evil, and New Year's Evil looks great. If there's actually one match I'm looking forward to the most, I'm telling you, it's Damian Priest and Karrion Kross. I think this is going to be a fucking excellent match. I'm very much looking forward to seeing what these guys can do, and I'm very much interested in seeing how these two work together. This is going to be a fucking fight between Kross and Priest. Keep your eyes on this match. We had an excellent promo highlighting the last woman standing match between Rhea Ripley and Raquel Gonzalez. And NXT, as we know, it's really not felt the same, but I'm telling you, this promo package this promo package, it legitimately felt, it felt TakeOver-esque. It felt legitimately as if these two women were about to fight in a NXT Women's Championship match. And I'm watching this. Rhea Ripley, you know she's due up on the main roster any day now. She's due up on the main roster any day now. Rhea Ripley is never going to receive this type of treatment on the main roster. She is never, ever going to receive this type of treatment on the main roster. And it absolutely fucking pains me to think that the highlight, the importance, the sense of urgency that comes with booking a star like Rhea Ripley and the attention that Rhea Ripley's receiving in this match that's not even an NXT Women's Championship match, yet they're hyping this up like nothing's on the line. No number one contendership, no championship, no nothing. Nothing is on the line. No awards are on the line, but yet they're hyping this match up with Raquel Gonzalez and Rhea Ripley as if it's the most important thing in the world. And that's what I love about this. That's what I love about this. That's what makes Raquel Gonzalez and Rhea Ripley in this program and this last woman standing match so great. That's why I'm so excited to see it. How they were friends before, and Rhea Ripley became successful, and Raquel Gonzalez, she became jealous of Rhea Ripley's success. I loved it. I loved it. It's great. Some great fucking shit. And Rhea Ripley's never going to receive this type of treatment on the main roster. And it sucks. It really does suck. So, after that, we had Legado del Fantasma. Legado del Fantasma was in the ring. Escobar said, take a moment and enjoy it. What a year we had. What a year I had. I'm not here to be popular. I'm here to be dominant. He then said, no one can touch me. Which is quite similar to Mr. DJ Storms, of course. It is fucking parallel. It is fucking parallel. Santos Escobar is parallel to me because nobody can touch me. You may think that you can, but you can't do anything. You can't do anything, and at the end of the day, all of you, the 13 people that disliked this video, are nothing more than a bunch of low-life scumbags that swing from every word that I say. You can't help but hang from the hair on my nuts. And I love it. I love it, the fact that I'm the highlight of your pathetic lives, and you can't handle it. I love it. Salty tears. So, Santos Escobar continues by saying, Regal can't and won't find anyone who belongs in this ring with me, with us, the leaders of Lucha Libre. And in 2021, this is going to continue. Afterwards, we had the Lucha House Party coming out, which I wasn't expecting. He says, whoa, Lince Dorado says specifically, oh, you think you own Lucha Libre? No, Lucha Libre is for everyone. So Raul then challenged them to a tag team match in Spanish. Of course, they accepted. Swift, fast-paced tag team match. Standard Lucha Libre tag team match that we would see. Really nothing too special. Gran Metalik ended up getting the win with the tightrope elbow drop after Dorado delivered a poison Rana. And that was that. And it was actually confirmed. It was actually confirmed that we are going to have Gran Metalik versus Santos Escobar for the NXT Cruiserweight Championship next week at New Year's Evil. And I'm thinking to myself, so Gran Metalik beat The Miz. Gran Metalik beat Legado del Fantasma. Automatically, that makes him worthy of an NXT Cruiserweight title opportunity when Metalik has never been showcased on NXT since fucking God knows how fucking long. Since fucking what, like 8-9 months ago? I really don't fucking understand. I don't fucking understand. I really don't. I do not fucking understand. So, the only reason why, and look, is it going to be a good match? Yeah, it's going to be a good match. New Year's Evil looks great. New Year's Evil looks like a fucking takeover. New Year's Evil's got this Cruiserweight title match, this NXT title match, Last Woman Standing match, Cross and Priest. We have, what else do we got? We got the fight pit between Timothy Thatcher and Tommaso Ciampa. New Year's Evil looks like an excellent show. This is going to be a great show to start off the year, and I hope that this is a really good start for NXT this year. It looks great. But the fact of the matter is that they're merely doing this Cruiserweight title match to add to an already stacked card specifically for ratings. That's all that the New Year's Evil show is. It's nothing more than a desperate attempt at ratings. So who fucking cares at the end of the day? It'll be a great show. It'll be a great show. But if you don't build on the storylines, and if you don't build on the momentum that you have coming out from New Year's Evil, if you don't expand and you don't put some depth behind what you're doing, if your motto is just to put title matches and big matches out there for the sake of ratings, you are not going to generate an overall positive feedback. Simple as that. This match was made specifically for ratings. So the future star of the year was Austin Theory, and the 2020 overall competitor of the year was Io Shirai. So the main event was Leon Ruff versus Johnny Gargano. Why do people hate me? Because I'm better than them. They hate me because I'm better than them. It's simple as that. 15 people dislike because they're below me. They're low-life pieces of scum. They're ants that I step on and wipe it off the back of my shoe. So, the main event. Main event was Johnny Gargano versus Leon Ruff. This was Gargano's North American Championship title defense. This was probably the best thing on the show. Probably the best thing on the show. And it really does further validate everything that I said. It really does further validate everything I said about Leon Ruff. Nobody hates Leon Ruff. I don't think anyone has a disdain for Leon Ruff. Leon Ruff is a very good professional wrestler. This match proved it. This man was allowed to go. This man was allowed to go 15 minutes with Johnny Gargano, and he gave you a great fucking match. And that's what I want. I want to see more opportunity. I want to see growth. I want to see development. I want to see Leon Ruff move up the ladder and actually impress. I don't have a personal problem with Leon Ruff, but the problem overall is the fact that they placed Leon Ruff in a position to win the North American title. Legitimately, that was his first real win. That was his first legitimate overall win in his NXT career, and he won the North American Championship. No build, no story, no momentum, no wins, no nothing, no growth, no development. They just gave him the North American Championship specifically for the fact that they wanted to spark up some type of unpredictability factor for NXT, so that way the ratings will boost and they'll beat out All Elite Wrestling. Like, who fucking cares? Legitimately, who cares? That's the problem with Leon Ruff. The fact that you put this guy, you put a jobber, you put someone who had no momentum, no build, no story, no character development, and you put that guy in the ring with Gargano, and he won the North American title in his first legitimate NXT win, and you did it specifically for a ratings purpose, to spark up an unpredictability factor. Why would you do that? Now you have to rebuild the prestige with the North American Championship. Gargano shouldn't even be the North American Champion. Gargano should be fighting in the NXT title picture, the North American title should realistically still be on Damian Priest, or at the least Kushida. At the least Kushida. But the match itself was great. The match itself was the best thing on the show. A great main event for NXT. Ruff was using his quickness against Gargano. Gargano tried to take over control and wear down Ruff. Ruff came back with a spin kick, various strikes, and a jumping neck breaker. We had a German suplex and a corkscrew cannonball by Leon Ruff. We had a super kick to Ruff. We had a lawn dart kneeling super kick on Ruff for a 2. We had a discus lariat to Ruff. Tribute to Mr. Brody Lee. A discus lariat to Ruff. But Ruff was able to kick out after a powerbomb. We had the Gargano escape locked in, but Ruff got to the ropes. We had a diving cutter, a diving corkscrew cutter to Gargano on the floor, which looked brutal. We then had a frog splash for a 2. Ruff then was mounting Gargano with punches. Gargano then dropped Leon Ruff face first in a snake eyes. He then hit one final beat, and he beat Leon Ruff straight up. And I appreciate the fact that they had him do it clean. Candice did not get involved. Indy did not get involved. And Theory did not get involved. I can appreciate the fact that Gargano won clean, as he should. Champions should win clean. If you are going to win with cheating every single time, you are not a credible contender. I'm very happy that they did that. Very, very happy. That was NXT. Not a bad show. Not a bad show whatsoever. I just really wish that they would put a lot more effort into their weekly shows. I can only hope that New Year's Evil really is a fresh start. Do I have a lot of faith? No, I really don't. I really don't. If I'm going to be quite honest, I really don't. So, that was NXT. Probably the second best show of the week. Wasn't a bad show whatsoever. We did get some decent wrestling with Strong and O'Reilly. Grizzled Young Veterans are coming up through the rankings. Gargano and Ruff put on a great match. So, then we had SmackDown, which was yesterday. We had SmackDown, which was yesterday. I really do not know what you want me to say about SmackDown, and you have these fucking idiots. You really have these fucking idiots trying to say that, oh, SmackDown, much better than Monday Night Raw. It's not that much better than Monday Night Raw at all. It's not. It's not that much better than Monday Night Raw at all. SmackDown only has one redeeming factor, and that's Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns is the only good part about SmackDown. The program with Kevin Owens is the only thing worth investing your time in on SmackDown right now. Everything else is just there. And it sucks. It sucks because of the simple fact that we have a lot of great talent on SmackDown, yet they're not utilizing them correctly. Nothing on the show on the first SmackDown of the new year. Nothing on the January 1st edition of SmackDown on Fox. Nothing outside of Roman Reigns and Kevin Owens was even worth investing your time in. Biggie is the Intercontinental Champion. Now he's going to start the Open Challenge. We're going to have Sasha as the SmackDown Women's Champion going into WrestleMania. We got Street Profits and the Usos more likely than not going into WrestleMania. All of this stuff happening. Apollo Crews is going to get a match with Big E for the Intercontinental title. That's going to be a great fucking match next week. All of this shit going on, and nothing is made to feel important. And it's not a fucking coincidence that Roman Reigns is the only thing that feels important, and Vince and Bruce Pritchard do not have a single say in what Roman Reigns is doing. That's all Roman and Heyman. It is all Roman and Heyman, and Vince McMahon and Bruce Pritchard, they're running everything else. It's not a coincidence. That just further validates the fact that Vince and Bruce need to be fired immediately. Immediately. So, we had Roman Reigns kicking off the show. Uso and Heyman were there. He says, as the face of WWE, let me start by saying, Happy New Year. When you're the head of the table, when you're the tribal chief, you make it work. He's talking about 2020 obviously being a rough year. Everything I touch turns to greatness. Likewise, Mr. Reigns, because everything I touch turns to greatness. So he called Heyman a genuine and honest man. He said he's the most genuine and honest man he's ever known. He said Uso had the best year of his career. To me, you've always been main event Uso. Owens then interrupted, and Reigns is like, what are you doing here? What are you doing here? You're like a roach that won't go away, similar to the majority of people that are disliking the stream. You're like roaches that won't go away. You can't touch me. You can't. So, Roman Reigns says you were a social media sweetheart for a few weeks. Now you can get your ass out of here. You're embarrassing me, and you're embarrassing my show. This is about Jay. This is all about Jay. This ain't about you. So, Owen says, me standing out here is embarrassing because you and your family failed. You tried to end me, and here I am. Here I am. So, he goes, you should be embarrassed because it's clear that the big dog is long gone and he's been replaced by a giant bitch. Tonight, I'm here to fight Jay. And I'm telling whoever I need to tell them that I'm going to fight Jay Uso. And after I'm done, your family will have nothing to celebrate. So we are going to get Jay Uso versus Kevin Owens later on in the night. The promo was excellent. Every single time Roman Reigns is out there on television, you know for a fact that Roman Reigns is going to give you something of substance. You know for a fact that Roman Reigns is going to give you the absolute best segment of the fucking night. Hands down. So, this was excellent right here. This was an excellent segment, but they really need to just give it up. They really need to give up the Kevin Owens and Jay Uso back and forth. It really is just too much. It really is. It's too much. It's just repetitive. It's the same shit over and over again. I really don't know what you want me to tell you. It's just the same material over and over again with Kevin Owens and Jey Uso. How many times do we need to see this? I think we've seen this about 3 times in the last month. Just end it. Just end it. It's not needed. So then we had Biggie versus Baron Corbin. This match went 3 fucking minutes before we got a DQ because Sami Zayn, he interrupted, as well as the Knights of the Lone Wolf. Apollo Crews then came out. He attacked. He military pressed Sami Zayn over the top, taking out the Knights of the Lone Wolf. And that was pretty much that. That was it. I really don't understand. It's a new year. It's a new year, but yet it's the same stereotypical WWE programming that we've seen for God knows how long. You would think that WWE would actually put some effort into the new year, but how many times do we need to see a match being booked only for the match to end in a DQ and result in a tag team match? Just book the fucking tag team match to begin with. Just book the fucking tag team match to begin with and be done with it. We don't need a match being booked, ending in a DQ, only to set up a tag team match. It's a waste of fucking time and energy. It's a waste of fucking time and energy. So we get this tag team match. We ended up having Apollo Crews and Big E win. Apollo Crews got the win. Apollo Crews got the win with the spin-out powerbomb. He pinned Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn had an argument with Corbin. He had an argument with fucking the Knights of the Lone Wolf. And Sami Zayn and his big mouth got him in trouble. And Corbin and the Knights of the Lone Wolf walked away. Sami Zayn was on the receiving end of a spin-out powerbomb, and that was that. Big E announced in the back that he's issuing a Intercontinental Championship Open Challenge starting next week. Which I don't necessarily have a problem with it. Like, here's the thing. I don't necessarily have a problem with it, but the fact of the matter is that the Open Challenge, it's really just become a crutch. It's really just become a crutch to give a superstar a challenger for a championship because WWE is just so fucking lazy. They're just too fucking lazy that they refuse to actually build up a challenger. They're just so lazy in building up actual challengers for a championship. They do this almost every single time with a babyface champion like a Big E. They did it with Styles. They did it with Rollins. They did it with Cena. So we just got done seeing a TNT Championship Open Challenge with Cody. But Cody at least did it because the independent wrestlers were coming in and they were receiving work. They were receiving work and they were getting an opportunity to get themselves out there to the public for when the pandemic is over. When the pandemic is over, they'll actually find better work. And they could possibly get signed by AEW. But this, with the WWE, it's just a crutch for their lack of creativity. I'm all for seeing Apollo Crews, and I think Apollo Crews and Biggie, they're going to put on a great match next week. I'm going to love it. It's going to be a great match. But at the end of the day, it's nothing more than a crutch. It's nothing more than a crutch because they refuse to actually build up credible challengers. So then we got the Riot Squad versus Natalya and Tamina. Billie Kay was their manager. She thought she was going to be competing, but she wasn't. Thank Christ she wasn't competing because Billie Kay is fucking AIDS. So, Billie Kay distracted Tamina, and Liv Morgan rolled up Tamina for the win. So this is the third victory that the Riot Squad has gotten, and now Billie Kay is apparently managing the Riot Squad. Billie Kay and her supporters are just as cancerous and toxic and unintelligent as Charlotte Flair and her supporters. Billie Kay is a detriment to the women's division, I'm telling you. And then I got people coming into my DMs. I think this one fucking idiot. Hang on, let me look up this fucker. I posted a picture of this dumb bastard. Hang on. But this dumb fucker comes into my mentions last night when I'm tweeting about SmackDown. Sean Martin, he's like, stop notching, not watching. He says stop notching. So obviously he didn't fucking graduate grammar school with a good grade in English. Stop notching, N-O-T-H-I-N-G. Stop notching if you don't like SmackDown. Don't watch. You don't think all you do is complain. A fucking moron this guy is. It sucks. The show sucks. Stop notching. That's how you know that this guy is about as dumb as this fucking mug right here full of water. The ice cubes in this water right here. You hear that? The ice cubes in this water right here have a higher IQ than Sean Martin. A retard. Anyway. Non-spelling ass. You're really coming up in my rankings, man. Yeah, I wasn't too sure about you, Cool King. I really wasn't too sure about you, but you've made it on my good side. I appreciate you, Cool King. Look at this. Let me tell you something. I got some of the best fans. I got some of the best fans and supporters out there. My man Ruben My man Ruben is DMing me about the trolls here. He says, "You okay, bro? I know these trolls can be a handful at times. Just want to check in." Ruben, I know you're watching. Or you're notching, as Sean Martin says. That's going to be the new inside joke here. That's an inside joke between you and me, Cool King. We're notching. We should stop notching. We should stop notching. Stop notching. Don't worry, Ruben. I promise you I'm good. We're good, brother. I promise you. Thank you for checking up on me, though, Ruben. I appreciate you, Ruben. I have a feeling you'll be watching this back. Hey, I appreciate you. Anyway, let's get back to what I'm talking about here. The Riot Squad should undoubtedly be the next #1 contenders for the Women's Tag Team Championships. I would actually like to see the Riot Squad actually get the proper amount of recognition, even though those titles are fucking worthless. We're almost at 200 views, actually. Let's get a few more likes. Let's get a few more likes out there, if you can. A few more likes out there, if you can. Hit that like button. Or how about this? All you fucking low-life trolls out there. Let's see if you can get this video to 50 dislikes. I want to get those views up, if you can. Give me those views up. Give me at least 300 views with 50 dislikes, if you can. Because I know you're going to be notching me. Oh, my God. These people, I swear to God, 24 people swinging from my nuts in every word that I say. I own you. I own you. Remember that. Anyway. Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair versus Bayley and Carmella. Match wasn't necessarily terrible. The match wasn't necessarily terrible, but I'm telling you, I really can't deal with it. I can't deal with it. I really can't deal with the stereotypical booking that WWE puts forth. They wonder why no one is over in the way that they want them to be over. They wonder why no one is over in the way that they want them to be over. You have Carmella and Bayley taking on Bianca and Sasha. Sasha needs a challenger for the Rumble. Instead of actually building up a challenger through wins, which, by the way, once again I'll state, what Sasha does between now and WrestleMania is fucking irrelevant. It's absolutely irrelevant what she does between now and WrestleMania. WrestleMania, whether she faces Bianca or Bayley, that is going to be a major talking point in her title reign. What she does between now and WrestleMania is irrelevant. But I don't understand why. You can't actually build up a credible challenger for Sasha Banks. You can't build up a fucking credible challenger for anybody. None of your champions have credible challengers. Outside of maybe Kevin Owens, but that's because of Roman and Heyman's brilliance and the fact that they're working with Kevin Owens and they have a lot of creativity in them. I don't understand why you didn't take Natalya, who is boring. She's boring as shit. She's fucking terrible in terms of a character. She's boring as shit. I would much rather stare at these inanimate objects in this Christmas village over here. Which, by the way, I hope everyone had a Merry Christmas. I would rather stand at these these objects right here, these people, these trees, these buildings right here, and I would much rather watch what these individuals do. And I know that they're not going to move. I know that these people right over here, these little figurines in this Christmas village is not going to move, but I would much rather watch them than watch Natalya wrestle. But Natalya is not necessarily a bad professional wrestler. Natalya beat Bayley not that long ago. She beat Bayley a few weeks ago. I don't understand why you didn't give Natalya a win over Billie Kay. You didn't give her a win over Tamina. And then you could have built her up as a challenger for Sasha Banks at the Royal Rumble. And that would have gotten Sasha through the Royal Rumble. Carmella wins with a spinning facebuster, and Carmella pins Sasha Banks. So now we're going to get another match between Sasha and Carmella at the Royal Rumble. simply to get Sasha Banks through the Rumble. They wonder why no one is over in the way that they want them to be over. They wonder. Sonya Deville. Yes, she's back. Sonya Deville is back. Sonya Deville is back. Let me tell you something. I'm very, very happy. I'm very happy. Very happy that Sonya Deville is back. Sonya Deville is, to me, one of the major breakout stars of 2020. She really came out of her shell. She had a great feud with Mandy Rose. Sonya Deville was doing some of the best work of her career. And what I don't understand is she lost a loser leaves WWE match specifically because she needed to do whatever she needed to do because of that disgusting individual that was trying to kidnap her, which was absolutely fucking inexcusable. I don't understand what the fuck is wrong with people nowadays. I don't understand how people could be so fucked up. But that's why she lost. WWE had 4 months to build and write and produce a decent angle that makes sense, that would bring Sonya Deville back to television. And they didn't do it. Instead, she's just walking into the locker room like nothing happened, and Corey Graves says, Sonya Deville has been reinstated to SmackDown. That's it? That's it? You could not think of anything else. You couldn't think of anything else. The epitome of lazy is WWE. I do not fucking get it. I really don't. I don't get it. I honest to God, do not get it. You're telling me that you can't be bothered. You can't be fucking bothered to write an angle that makes sense. Or at least, if you wanted an easy out, you could have had Sonya Deville return at the Women's Royal Rumble. Does nobody think? You could have had Sonya Deville return at the Women's Royal Rumble, and you could have had an explanation after the Rumble. But instead, you just have Sonya Deville just strolling on back in. Like nothing happened. I don't understand. The lack of creativity and the fact that you, meaning creative, or Vince McMahon or Bruce Pritchard, whatever, the fact that they just go forth, and they just bring up shit as if what happened 4 or 5 months ago never happened, and they act as if we're living in another fucking dimension. It's just fucking ridiculous. No logic whatsoever. I'm glad that Sonya Deville is back, but come the fuck on. At least give us an actual fucking reason as to why she's back. At least try and explain some, or why not have Adam Pearce say, I'm reinstating Sonya Deville? Adam Pearce apparently has been making all the decisions around here for the last 5 months. Why not have Adam Pearce come out and say, hey, I've reinstated Sonya Deville? So the Street Profits, they hosted the New Day, New Day. Not New Day. I see enough fucking New Day and fucking pancakes and bootios. New Year's Day Smoketacular. Rude and Ziggler then interrupted, and we had Rude and Ziggler smashing Ford's leg in between the post and a steel chair. And they said they wanted a rematch for the titles, so we're getting a rematch for the titles next week. Daniel Bryan and Otis versus Cesaro and Shinsuke Nakamura. Fun little match right here, but I didn't really need to see Bryan thrusting his hips with Otis and Chad Gable doing the fucking Macarena to begin my new year. I mean, if that's what they see in Daniel Bryan, instead of a fucking Royal Rumble winner, why are we getting the promos that we're getting on Talking Smack between Heyman and Owens and Heyman and Bryan, and then on SmackDown they're fucking comedy acts? Bryan and Otis win. Yes, Lock and Nakamura tapped. Kevin Owens versus Jey Uso. They went right after each other. This match went 8 minutes. Jey Uso lost to a stunner. And then he tried to get Roman's attention. He took the microphone and he took Graves' microphone off. He spoke into the microphone. He says, "I'm going to take care of your family, bitch." Throws the microphone back to Graves. So he takes handcuffs Jey to the ropes and starts beating the shit out of him. Then he's like, "You know what? I'll come to you." So he handcuffs Jey's hands together. Starts taking him up the ramp. We had Owens placing him out on the table, and then he went up to the platform on the Thunderdome, and out of nowhere, Roman Reigns comes. Roman Reigns starts attacking, and then they're brawling all the way up to the top of the fucking Thunderdome. They're brawling up and up and up, and they're on the top of the fucking stands. And out of nowhere, you just see Roman Reigns toss Kevin Owens Mankind style. Kevin Owens has been having all these Mankind moments. He fell off the cell, fell off a ladder, now he's falling off the Thunderdome. I think he was inspired by Mick Foley. Kevin Owens, like Mankind, he's thrown off the fucking platform all the way down through the table. And Roman Reigns is standing on top of him. The ending was fucking great. The ending and the beginning of the show was fucking great. Everything else in between was fucking jack shit. Same stereotypical garbage that we have been accustomed to for God knows how long. And that was SmackDown. How long did we go? 2 hours and 31 minutes. I mean, not to say I am an absolute god, but I'm a god. I'm a fucking god. I hope you all know that. Any questions? I mean, I got a new mic over here. We're going to test this mic here. How bad is the echo? I'm not sure if it's because I'm in a widespread room. I think it might be because I'm in a widespread room. Just let me talk to Ruben. I left Ruben a little note. Left Ruben a little note. Missing all of these, these fucking, what was it? No echo now. Alright, that's good. No echo now. I like that. We had no echo now. But hopefully when I rant in the future, there's really going to be no echo. But we got it down. Alright? So, how clear am I actually coming in? Am I coming in clear if I move closer? I don't know. I'm going to have some fun with this. I really will. Look at this. Take a look at this, people. Look at this. Look at how fucking beautiful it is, really. Fucking beautiful that shit is. I actually did not think I would be finishing up this early. I mean, I can answer a few questions. Hey, thank you very much, Proud Mixed Child. I greatly appreciate you. Greatly appreciate you. Peanuts, Danielle, Cameron Johnson, Cool King. Who else? A couple of other people. The Trolls. I'm clear. I am clear. I mean, come on, everyone loves this clear face right here. Except of course, the Cyber and chin strap combo with the beautiful mustache does the trick right there. I'm telling you, I'm a dick. I'm a dick, I swear. But man, I'd say let's take a look at the analytics. 178 playbacks. Now that right there is certainly a way to start off the new year. Ladies and gents, that's a grand slam. I guess, Omega, he's called the best bout machine. I guess you can call me the best stream machine. Damn right. But hey, in all seriousness, I thank each and every single one of you for joining me. I thank each and every single one of you who watched the video. Even the people that disliked, because I know that I have you wrapped around my finger. I own you. You're my pets. Filthy dogs. You filthy fucking dogs. I own you. I own all of you. I own all of you. Remember that. Remember that. I own you. If I say so, I own it. Anyway, I hope everyone had a Merry Christmas. I hope everyone had a great New Year's. I hope everyone, how tall am I? 5'7", Danielle. I hope everyone had a great Christmas. I hope everyone had a great New Year's. I hope that everyone has made some great goals. Gadget Gaming. Oh my God, I'm actually surprised you came in, Gadget Gaming. I'm really surprised that you came in. I'm not even a wrestling chick, but you are my friend. Hey, I can dig it. Thank you, Deborah. Thank you. I greatly appreciate all of you. Don't forget, check out all the links in the description. Link in the description. Like, comment, and subscribe. Check out all the links. Please follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. I greatly appreciate every single one of you. Deborah, Cool King, Cameron Johnson, Adam, Earl, Danielle, everyone. I greatly appreciate every single one of you. We kicked off 2021 with a bang. And trust me, I will keep you guys updated. I will feel better. I'm going to get this intestinal condition back into remission, and I'm going to be kicking ass like I always do. Because remember who the man is. Remember who's the ace of the IWC. Remember who owns the IWC. Remember who is above all. I am here, and then everyone else follows. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm the one and only DJ Storms. This has been the Lightning Flash Update. I hope y'all have a great weekend. Happy New Year to all of you. And to the trolls, I own you. Peace.